3, 2, 1, go.
JayCast.
Hello everybody, and welcome to today's JayCast, where there is games, me, and a lot of talking about, as you see in the description, Satoru Iwata. A lot of conversation about him today. First of all, thank you for everybody that came in and tuned in to the live edition. I will also be having this posted on YouTube tomorrow, so don't worry if you didn't get a chance to see it today. I mean, I guess if you're seeing this on Tuesday, then I don't need to say that, but that doesn't matter. Ladies and gentlemen, not very often do I like to do this. I'm not usually accustomed to this type of ideal that I typically do, but I found in my own heart that not only would that help myself, but it would also help some of you guys who have always talked about how Nintendo has kind of shaped your belongings of the gaming industry as it may be today. First of all, if you have no idea what I'm even talking about, let me give a quick glimpse of it real quickly. July 12th, 2015 was the official announcement that the CEO and president of Nintendo of America Corporation, Satoru Iwata, dies at age 55 due to a bile duct growth. Bile duct growth is a form of cancer, if you do not know. Basically, bile ducts are used to break down fats in food to help digestion and connect the gallbladder and small bowel in your system. Without that, it would just be a direct connection to your small intestine. Basically, it was cancerous inside of that system, leading to his ability to break down his foods and everything else to kind of just end up getting bigger and bigger and couldn't handle it anymore. So that's what it eventually happened with that. It is an immensely sad story indeed. I am very sorry to hear about it. My regards to everybody within his family, and my prayers and everything will be to you guys, because as I'll talk about later, the impact that Nintendo itself has had upon me, and this is a sad thing to hear coming from one of my favorite companies in the entire world. So, news spread immensely quickly about this. The New York Times, Fox News, CNN, IGN, basically everybody, even if you go on Twitter, had reported this as of last night, and just exploded on popularity, even going to today. So this is not something that is mildly not heard about. Even when I had found out about it last night around 11:35, I kind of known from a friend of mine. I think this was before that, and I didn't realize that it was that bad at first. So it was very sad to hear from that he had unfortunately passed away. So as I said before, the regards to him and everything for that. But as you saw in the beginning for the countdown, Again, YouTubers will probably not see that, but don't worry, I'll be showing a small little slideshow of it again in the midsection of this podcast. This is fan art that people had drawn in support and admiration toward them. The credit goes to those people that had created it. I did not get a chance to get their names because one picture was very popular on Twitter, and I really loved it a lot, and I wanted to use it, and I couldn't find the original creator, and I did not have enough time to credit him. So if you are the owner of these, I'm only using these as recreational use, and know that they're being used for a good cause today. So anyway, welcome to today's JayCast. I know I haven't been on here for a while. I've been very busy, so that's the usual spiel about that, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We've got more important people and more important things to talk about today, and today will be a little more mellow than it usually is. It's going to be a lot more informative, and it's going to be a lot more toward being talking about basically why this is such a sad thing that had occurred inside this company. So let's talk about one thing. Before we go into Iwata's success, I want to just mention a few things about why this is such a big deal to myself, not personally, but just why I think that this is a kind of a bummer thing this occurred, during this time. So if you're very familiar with the economic principles of the United States or Japan or pretty much almost anybody, you'll get this as much as I get this, hopefully in just a second. So as always, when they're the leader of the pack, this appears, it's always a midst of chaos, and it's always kind of a sad time for it indeed, especially if you had a very good and gracious leader, and definitely I think Iwata had qualified behind that, so I give him immense props and happiness for that. So as I was getting to, so unfortunately seeing him pass is a sad thing, because a lot of people always talk about when he, like his E3 conferences with the puppets, or sometimes in his Nintendo Directs when he would be there and have these just really, really neat announcements. And I always thought these were so cool when I got a chance to actually watch them, and him just being there and just trying to be active with an individual person. It felt like it really, really did. And that's when I kind of give him full credit for, because in an often stance, even in the situation with Steve Jobs, there's the side where you appeal to everybody, and there's a side that he appeals to you. And what I mean by that is that for example, Steve Jobs would kind of try to make the appeal to everybody and try to get everybody on board for it. Whereas if you would go and hear Iwata speak or anything, he would try to seem like he was talking to you, like as if you had were like the second, you were basically his president, is what he seemed like he'd always talk to. And I don't need to pull up any footage about it to know that is definitely a very, very true thing behind it. I'm sure, as you saw in this year's E3, in the previous years before that, he always has his own unique style behind it, and it's really cool that he does what he does and how he does it. It's something I want to take for notes in the future if I ever become a major corporate owner or president or anything of that. So leading by example was a fantastic thing that he had done before. Now, I don't intend this to be a eulogy, but more or less to draw attention to what he has done before, and try to just kind of point that out, and then explain why this is kind of a bummer thing to me. So I want to talk about again. Let's just talk a little bit about who exactly Iwata is, because some people, I even asked this before in a recent game forum that I was in, if they knew who he was, because I said he had passed away, and a lot of people were asking the question who, and interestingly enough, not that many people actually know about it. Well, Iwata is known as a very corporate he's a corporate owner in addition to a gamer. He even says that in one of his memorable quotes that I'll cover with later. He originally, when he graduated with his degree in computer science, he pursued into HAL Laboratories. If you don't know who HAL is the company that created majority of the Kirby series, if not all of them, if I'm not mistaken. And with that, he was like one of the major assets behind the creation of Kirby's Dream Land back in the old days, the 90s days, the classic Super Nintendo times. Nostalgia's already coming in already. So he was a part of that, and I'm sure a lot of you are very well aware of what he's known more particularly for, and that is for the creation of the Super Smash Bros. Franchise. Super Smash Bros. All the way up to 4, which is currently on the Wii U, and also for the amiibos that are used on the Wii U, in addition to the fact that he also has launched multiple things behind that as well. After he had moved from HAL Laboratories, where he became the president there, he moved to Nintendo, climbed the corporate ladder, and became CEO of Nintendo. Let me just clarify, he didn't just magically become it. He was the next person appointed after 53 years in the industry. It was, what was his name? There we go. Where after 53 years, if you remember, Hiroshi I'm gonna biff this name. Yamauchi, if I remember correctly, stepped down in the early 2000s. Just for, if I remember correctly, it was just to step down. So he had taken over for Hiroshi. There we go. So that's when he had taken over, and then with his success, he was the person that launched the DS, 3DS, the Wii U. I mentioned before the amiibos, and also other interactive toys like the plush Yoshis that are also able to be used, and other things beyond that. So that is a lot of things that he has definitely done in his time, and I can't thank him enough for his contributions for it. The creation of the DS brought together a better sense of handheld gaming, which then eventually moved to the mobile gaming industry, which I'm sure, as many of you know, is a actually probably multi-billion-dollar company by now. Nintendo never really decided to pursue into that because they always found that they could make a product that would be more unique than a simple phone, and they'll be converting to it eventually, as we've been talking about with their NX system that'll be coming out soon. And actually, I should say, we'll have more information about it coming soon. But before that point, we'll have to just, I guess, hold on to our butts and hope that we figure stuff out, right? But anyhow, so with him passing away, that obviously leads to a lot of questions behind what exactly is going to happen. Who exactly is going to be the next step up, who's going to be the next person behind it, who's going to be, the true person that will possibly take over for them. For sure, it is definitely, again, I will say that it is sad to see him go. However, you have to realize that Nintendo is still a very, very strong company inside of their owners and of itself. If you have seen any internet memes that always joked about this a couple of years ago, that, basically they were just a strong wall and there was no way they were going to be broken down. Well, that's definitely the case, and I think it'll continue on forward for it, and I'm very excited to see what will be the progress for it coming soon. If I remember correctly, I believe the rumor was Mr. Miyamoto, who also was another major part. I believe he was president as well. I believe so. Who will be taking over as potentially. That's not been confirmed yet for Mr. Iwata. As of right now, today is the day where it is considered mourning, and people will be drawing respect upon him. I don't think I necessarily have to say that too much, considering that you've probably seen it all over social media as well. So, in addition to what I say, there's always that portion for it too. So, in that aspect, I want to show appreciation to you guys, and also to Mr. Iwata for what he has done for the company over the last, I believe now 11 years. No, excuse me, after the last 12 to 13 years now, when he has worked hard for it. One thing that I'd really, I'll say it again, really would just like to mention to people is that there is a thing that Nintendo company is doing, and I'm so proud that they decided this option. If you go in the chat currently, or if you're watching this on YouTube, go in the description. Go and look in that link that I'm going to be putting down in there, and also in the chat. As of right now, I'm doing it live right here. You want to go to this, it's mynintendonews.com. This will be for in memory of Satoru Iwata. Basically, let me read this to you from here if you don't know what it is or just think I'm throwing you a stupid link. So, many people are looking for outlets to mourn the loss of Satoru Iwata. After turning to writing articles, compilation videos, and fan art. However, if you would like to mourn Iwata-san, feel free to do it in a way he would undoubtedly appreciate by gaming with him. Using the Me QR code below, which you'll see in the link there, players will be able to scan with their Nintendo 3DS to add him via Me Maker. From there, you can play around the Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS with him, hang out in Tomodachi Life, or hit the green in Mario Golf World Tour. Here's a list of all the Me-compatible Nintendo 3DS software to date, which is typically, I believe I remember reading most of them. So, you'll see here, it has his face on and everything, so it's kind of a nice little way to remember the direct, as I show on the picture that it's even on there too, the face of Mr. Iwata, every time he comes out on stage and he wants to talk to you, not to everybody else, but he wants to talk to you, the gamer, the developer, the creator, the aspiring artist as you are. So now some people have been asking me today why on earth this seems so impactful to me. Even in my vlog yesterday, after I found out the news and I put that up almost immediately after I didn't even edit it. I just kind of took the webcam footage and I just shot it straight to YouTube because I knew at that point that was what I was going to put, and I knew from the start that was going to be what it was going to develop into. As I had said before, and if you watch the vlog, you may be hearing some repetitive things in here. As a kid growing up, I was kind of a multi-various person, meaning I did a lot of things. I was a sports freak, I was a video geek, I did all these other things, and I did all of this great stuff. And it was so much fun, and I enjoyed it to death. The one thing I will say that was kind of unfortunate was financially, we were good. We were decently middle class. However, it was definitely staying on a budget sort of way. So me growing up was kind of getting games from mainly my brothers and sisters who would buy them. For example, I would use my brother's PS2, and I would use my brother's Super Nintendo, or I would use my sister's Super Nintendo because we eventually gave it to her. And I would do these other things for it and play all these different games. I remember a game for Power Rangers on Super Nintendo. I remember Mario Paint vividly. It was beautiful. I loved doing that. As a kid, that's just amazing. When they had the touch board for it, I thought that was so cool that they did that. In addition to that, there was also games such as Super Mario World, the typical ones, and everything for it. Super Punch-Out, if you see me play on live streams with it, and all of these other things. And just, I grew up from that point as a Nintendo person, and I can tell you, except for the Nintendo Wii U, and 3DS, I own every single console they've ever put out. I can even name the ones that I've owned. If I missed one, actually like Virtual Boy, like some smaller ones that kind of failed. I don't really have those. Let me just explain which ones I have specifically or had. I'll start from the oldest to the newest and work from there. So technically, my family owned an NES, but I got a chance to play it when I got older. So technically, I owned an NES in the beginning, but I played the Super Nintendo. So at the NES, the Super Nintendo, in addition to that, I had the N64, played the N64 at least with my cousins, and then also have played the GameCube when I was a kid. I played the Nintendo Wii. I played the Nintendo. I'm just saying played. I've played the. I've used the Nintendo Game Boy, the original, the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Advance SP, the Nintendo DS, the Nintendo 3DS. I've actually played, again, I didn't really actually technically own it. The newer ones, like the Wii U and 3DS, I did not own, but the ones before that I did. I owned a Nintendo Wii. I owned basically everything for that. And as you've seen here, I carry, sometimes I carry a few emulators. Sometimes depends on what I really choose to do. So I kind of grew up with Nintendo, and just seeing that is a very discouraging thing to see that they were troubled by such a factor. I was hoping that maybe that would be something that would happen if he, stepped down to retire or anything along that line. I wouldn't think he would have passed away at 55. But as always, there's always a reason for everything, and that reason may not be as clear to us, but you know what? In the end, everything does turn out the way that we'd like it to, and we'll be okay. We'll be okay. So this is the part that I would like to play a small slideshow of some smaller fan art that some wonderful artists had created, shared via Twitter, Tumblr, and Reddit, and multiple other sources. And I would like to show those to you guys now, alongside with playing a small bit of music, just to have you consider some of the things that maybe the Nintendo company has done for you in of itself, and also for what Mr. Iwata has created over the last few years. So give that a little bit of time, guys. We're going to watch a little bit of a slideshow in dedication to Mr. Iwata. I hope that you guys enjoyed that. The other reason that I did this today was for the concern that excuse me. The other reason was also I've had many family members. One sec. I've had many family members fight the fight of cancer. And, excuse me. And it's sad to see people fight for disease that's hurt us so much over the years. And I know that the combination of the two really did suck for me. I'm not faking this right now, so anybody that's thinking that right now, they can shut up. It was something that really sucks. Ask any family. It sucks. It just does. The disease, I can't speak. The disease just tears at people, and seeing that, it's just I can't think about what people go through every freaking day. You know, and it's something that we as a community of people, of whoever you are, it's to come together and just do something to change your lives. I was gonna wait to do this in a vlog, but I want to announce it now. Excuse me 1 second before I make this. So I've had this ail me for a long time, and I want to start fighting with it and start working with this scenario. So I'll have more information about it another time, but sometime in August I will be doing a 24-hour charity live stream to benefit cancer research, and we'll be playing excuse me 1 sec. I'm gonna go on a small commercial break. I can't make this announcement at this time. I'll be back in just a moment, people. I'll be right back. Okay, what I'm going to say is this. I want to make a very quick announcement about this before I wrap up today's JayCast. I'm a lot better, by the way. Thank you very much. Um, so, as you just saw, cancer has affected me, not individually, but family-wise and friend-wise for a long time. Uh, it's definitely been something that is really been there for years, and not only just to me, but just to anybody that I've seen with it and experienced the problems behind it. Um, so I want you to know, sometime in the middle of August, I'm going to be hosting a 24-hour charity live stream, of which we'll be playing a Nintendo game for 24 hours. We'll be doing a Super Smash Brothers a-thon. We'll be competing against each other, and the winner gets a big prize, which we'll put to charity. And so it's going to be a huge, like, Super Smash Brothers slash Super Mario World experience. And so it's, like I said, it's going to be 24 hours, and I'm going to push everything that I possibly can into raising as much money as possible. I'm not even going to throw down a goal. I'm just going to put this down as, if you have something that you can give, I want you not necessarily to need to give, but just to know that people need to be aware this thing sucks. If they've never been experienced with it, they may not know. If they have, they'll know more. But this is something that we get closer and closer every day, and the only way we're able to take care of it is to know that we need to take care of ourselves, and we need to take care of everything behind us. So, like I said before, just don't be surprised if I have another vlog a little more composed, where I talk about the vlog, the vlog that we'll discuss about that, and the official dates and who I'm exactly donating to, and all of this stuff for it will be announced later on in better detail, when I'm not in the middle of a Niagara River problem. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching today's podcast, and also to join with me in thanking Mr. Iwata for his great work for Nintendo, and for everything that he has done to the company, and everything that he has done to help us out, and to be the great leader, owner, CEO, and gamer of Nintendo. On that note, guys, I want to thank you all so much for watching today, and make sure to check out the playlist down below if you haven't seen it before, and also to see the and stay tuned in a little while, in a couple of weeks, to figure out when I stream for cancer research. So on that note, guys, thank you all so much for watching today. I'm Jay, wishing all of you a wonderful and fantastic day.